silence and thoughts I can't escape. Every passing hour tonight changes shape. I sit beneath the fading neon, watching shadows sway, trying to understand why you walked away. Outside, the streets keep moving slowly, like nothing ever changed. But everything inside my chest feels rearranged. I told myself I wouldn't miss you the way I used to do, but loneliness keeps finding its way to you. Now it's only smoke and silence keeping me awake, a quiet kind of heartbreak I can't shake. And every empty moment here still sounds a little like your name, like love disappeared but left the flame. The night drifts by in broken pieces, too slow to understand, like memories slipping softly through my hands. I hear old conversations inside the midnight air, fragments of the way you laughed when you were there. Even the light feels colder now against the window pane, like every drop of midnight knows my pain. I thought the distance would erase you with enough time apart, but certain kinds of absence stay in the heart. Now it's only smoke and silence filling up the room, a lonely kind of feeling without you. And every fading shadow pulls me back again to everything we almost were back then. Maybe love was never steady, maybe it was smoke, beautiful for a moment before it broke. And maybe I was never ready to watch it disappear, so I keep breathing in the traces you left here. The night grows thin toward morning, but I still feel the same, sitting with the echoes of your name. The silence wraps around me like a familiar blues, a quiet kind of emptiness I can't lose. And somewhere through the fading darkness, you still remain, like smoke that leaves a memory in my veins. Now it's only smoke and silence long after you're gone, a fragile kind of longing still holding on. And if tomorrow finally takes these memories from view, there'll still be smoke and silence leading back to you. still hear your name in quiet places where the night feels heavier than it should. Even the wind sounds unfamiliar now, like something misunderstood. The lights around me don't feel warm anymore, just shapes without a glow, as if the world forgot its colors long ago. I tell myself I'm doing better, that time has done its part, but every calm I try to build falls apart. I thought distance would be simple, just a matter of time, but silence has its own language and it still replies. Now I'm just a silent heart drifting through spaces you don't see, holding on to fragments of us that refuse to leave. And every note the saxophone carries feels like it knows your face, but no matter how far it reaches, it loses trace. I pass through places we once walked through, like memories in disguise. Every corner holds a version I can't revise. I try to speak with different voices to fill the empty air, but nothing sounds like honesty when you're not there. The world keeps moving without waiting, it never looks behind, but I'm still living in the moment you left behind. I thought I'd learn to let it fade, like fading is clean, but some feelings don't disappear, they stay unseen. Now I'm just a silent heart drifting through echoes of your name, trying to hold the shape of love that never stays the same. And every time the music rises, it pulls me back again to all the words I never said back then. Maybe love doesn't break clean, it fractures in the soul and leaves behind the pieces that never let you go. And maybe I was never ready to watch it drift away, because part of me is still living in yesterday. I stop pretending I've moved forward, the truth is always near. Some endings don't arrive with closure, they just disappear. The night feels longer than it used to without your voice around, and all I have are fading traces of every sound. Still somewhere in the quiet static, I feel you drifting through a broken kind of memory that leads to you. I'm just a silent heart drifting through places I can't stay, the words just stay inside, like ink that knows it has a meaning, but chooses not to fly. The night feels heavier than usual without your voice around. Even silence has a memory that makes a sound. I act like I've been moving forward, like nothing stays too long. But every step I take in quiet feels wrong. I told myself it's over, that time would take its place, but time just keeps reminding me of your face. It's an unsent midnight letter, no address, no reply, just feelings that I never learned how to say goodbye. And every note the saxophone carries feels like it knows my truth, a language made of broken pieces of me and you. I pass the places we once stood in, like shadows in the past. Everything looks the same on surface, but nothing lasts. I smile when strangers start to talk to me, like I'm still whole inside, but they don't see how easily I break and hide. The world keeps turning like it always did, without a pause for pain, but I'm still caught in memories I can't explain. I thought distance would erase you like ink fades in rain, but some stories don't get washed away, they stay in the brain. It's an unsent midnight letter, still burning in my hand, full of words I never spoke, you'd never understand. And every time the music rises, it pulls me back to then, to everything I should have said back when. Maybe love is just unfinished words we never sent, a story that keeps going without an end. And maybe I was never ready to watch it fall apart, so I keep it in this letter inside my heart. I almost throw it all away now, but I can't let it go, because even pain feels honest when it still knows. The night keeps stretching out in silence, no comfort, no reply, just echoes of a conversation I let die. Still somewhere in the static feeling, I think you're near tonight, inside this unsent letter without a light. It's an unsent midnight letter that never found your door, just love I couldn't carry anymore. And if you ever feel the silence between the time. I hear you in the static silence between the night and day, like signals drifting out of reach that slowly fade away. The world around me keeps on moving, but I'm still tuned to you, like broken radio emotions coming through. I try to focus on the present, but the past keeps breaking in, like something I can't switch off from within. I told myself I'd lose the signal, let the frequency die, but some connections never fully say goodbye. It's a fading frequency, love, still humming in my chest, a signal that won't settle down or let me rest. And every note the saxophone carries feels like your distant tone, a melody that keeps on calling me home. I walk through streets of moving strangers, but none of them align with all the versions of your voice inside my mind. The city noise becomes a pattern that almost sounds like you, but every time I reach for it, it cuts right through. Your memory keeps interrupting every thought I try to keep, like something buried in my mind too deep. I thought distance would erase you, like fading is clean sound, but some frequencies just echo all around. It's a fading frequency, love, still looping in my head, a song that never finishes even when it's dead. And every time the music rises, it drags me back again to all the love I couldn't hold back then. Maybe love is just a signal that never really stops. It keeps on traveling endlessly through all the drops. And maybe I was never ready to lose the tone we made, so I keep it on repeat in the shade. Fight the interference, I let it play, because even broken signals find their way. The noise becomes a kind of comfort I can recognize, a fading love still speaking through the skies. And somewhere in the endless static, you still feel near, a frequency of memory still clear. It's a fading frequency, love, that never leaves my side. A broken kind of signal I can't hide. And if the world forgets the meaning of everything we knew, this quiet frequency will always call to you. The streetlights fade like tired memories along these empty roads. Midnight drifts across the city, soft and cold. I walk alone without a destination, just letting time move on. But every quiet corner here feels wrong. Your voice still lingers in the silence, like a distant tune, something fragile floating slowly through the room. I thought these nights would feel much lighter as the months went by, but missing you still follows every skyline. Under faded streetlights tonight, I still think of you. Every shadow in the city leads me to the truth, and every passing moment here feels slower than before, like my heart is waiting by a closed door. The windows glow above the avenue, like scenes I cannot reach, while memories keep speaking softly without speech. I try to lose myself in motion, in the rhythm of the crowd, but loneliness can feel the strongest when surrounded. Even the wind along the pavement sounds low and blue, like the whole night keeps remembering you. I told myself I'd stop returning to what we used to be, but certain hearts keep wandering endlessly. Under faded streetlights tonight, your memory still stays like reflections on the sidewalk after rain. And every distant sound I hear pulls me back again to all the words we never said back pale with morning, but I still move slow, like part of me is searching what I know. The city starts another. The station lights are growing dimmer as midnight settles in. People come and go like stories that never begin. I sit alone beside the window, watching shadows move, trying to forget the way I still think of you. The city passes in reflections, blurred against the glass, like memories that disappear too fast. I told myself this lonely feeling would fade before too long, but every road I take tonight feels wrong. Tonight, with your memory beside me, every silent mile keeps pulling you back to me, and every quiet second here feels colder than before, like love stepped off somewhere I can't return anymore. Empty seats feel like reminders of everything we were, fragments of unfinished moments still blurred. Outside the streets keep glowing softly, like nothing ever changed, but inside me every feeling feels rearranged. I close my eyes to rest a little, but sleep won't stay, because your voice keeps finding me anyway. I thought distance would make it easier to leave the past behind, but some hearts never learn to untie. I'm riding the last train home tonight, through silence and blue light, holding on to fading pieces of us tonight. And every passing shadow feels like something I once knew, a quiet kind of loneliness leading back to you. Maybe love is like a station you can't return again, no matter how badly you wish to go back then. And maybe I was never ready to watch us drift apart, so I carry this long ride inside my heart. The train slows slows down near morning, but I stay in my seat, like part of me still waits for you. Across the street, the sky begins to lose the darkness. The city wakes anew, but nothing feels completely real without you. And somewhere in the fading distance, beyond the morning glow, I hear your memory whisper, soft and low. I'm riding the last train home tonight, though home no longer feels the same. Every road keeps circling back to your name. And if this lonely ride keeps going, long after night is through, I'll still be on this last train home, missing you. Still carries traces of a voice that isn't there, like shadows on the ceiling that I still swear. I sit where conversations used to fill the air, but now it's only silence everywhere. The light feels slightly colder than it used to feel before, like something warm and living lives here no more. I tell myself I'm used to it, that time has done its part, but echoes don't dissolve so easily inside the heart. These are empty room echoes calling your name again, soft reminders of a moment that won't end. And every note the saxophone carries feels like it knows my pain, a melody of something that won't remain. I move around in quiet circles, trying not to feel, but even stillness has a way of making things real. The smaller sound becomes a memory I cannot ignore, like footsteps that don't happen anymore. The world outside keeps rushing forward without a backward glance, but I am still caught inside the space of what we had. I thought I'd learn to live with this, like living is a skill, but some absences don't leave you, they stay still. These are empty room echoes that never fade away, just fragments of a yesterday that won't decay. And every time the music rises, it pulls me back to then, to all the love that lingers still within. Maybe love is just a presence that doesn't leave at all. It stays inside the silence after the fall. And maybe broke down. Fix the silence, I let it stay, 'cause even pain becomes familiar in its own way. The room still feels like waiting for someone to return, but all I have are lessons I never learned. Still somewhere in the fading quiet, I think you're near tonight. Inside these empty echoes without light. These are empty room echoes that never let me go. Soft reminders of a love I used to know. And if the world forgets this feeling, I'll still recall the sound of all the things you never said, but left around. You didn't leave with heavy words, no breaking scene, no sound. Just quiet steps that walked away like nothing tied you down. And I stood there pretending calm, like it was all okay. But something in the air that night just slipped away. The lights were still, the world kept moving, like nothing felt the same. But I could hear inside my chest you calling in a fading name. I told myself it's nothing, just another passing phase. But silence has a way of staying for days. You faded out without goodbye, like smoke into the air, leaving only empty spaces where you were there. And every note the saxophone cries feels like it understands a love that slipped right through my hands without demands. I walk through places we once knew, but they don't speak your name. They look the same, they feel the same, but not the same. I try to act like I'm okay now, like nothing cuts too deep. But some memories don't let you go, they don't sleep. The world keeps moving in its rhythm, it never looks behind. But I'm still standing in the moment left behind. I thought that I could let it fade, like fading is control. But some goodbyes don't happen loud, they steal the soul. You faded out without goodbye and left no trace. feeling I can't unwind. And every time the music rises, it pulls me back to you, to everything I never said but wanted to. Maybe love doesn't end with closure, it just disappears, leaving fragments of forever inside the years. And maybe I was never ready to watch it turn to dust, because some hearts don't break in anger, they just rust. Because some stories don't conclude, they leave me. The night still carries what you left in quiet, unseen ways, like something that refuses to erase. And somewhere in the distant static, I still feel you near, a love that never said goodbye, but disappeared. You faded out without goodbye, and I'm still standing here, holding on to nothing, but missing you clear. And if the world forgets our story, I'll still recall the sound of love that left so quietly, without a bound. The skyline in shades of silver blue, and every light across the avenue reminds me of you. People pass like quiet stories I'll never really know, while I keep tracing memories too soft to let go. There's a calmness in the darkness, but my mind still moves, searching through the fading echoes of me and you. I thought the city noise would drown out everything I feel, but lonely hearts can hear what silence won't conceal. In the blue hour tonight, my heart still drifts your way, like a shadow moving softly at the end of day. And every distant light I see feels warmer than before, like your memory is waiting beyond another door. Feels cool along the sidewalk, midnight settles in, and every step becomes another place you've been. I hear laughter from the rooftops floating through the air, but even joy sounds far away when you're not there. The moon hangs low above the river, quiet and alone, like it understands the feeling of holding on. I told myself these restless thoughts would fade into the night, but some feelings only grow stronger without light. In the blue hour tonight, your memory still glows like reflections on the water only midnight knows. And every passing second here feels slower than it should, like I'm still standing where we last stood. Maybe love was always fragile, like evening turning dark, beautiful for just a moment before it leaves a mark. And maybe I was never ready to watch the feeling end, so I keep your fading shadow close again. The city slowly loses color as morning nears the sky, but part of me still lingers in goodbye. I breathe the quiet air around me and let the silence move, because every road I wander leads to you. And somewhere in the fading blue light, beyond the waking dawn, I know these blue hour hearts keep holding on. In the blue hour tonight, I let the memories stay like soft reflections in the dark that never fade away. And if tomorrow changes everything, like people say can do, this blue hour heart will still belong to you. Still loving silence, I learned to sit with empty mornings where your voice used to stay, like light that slowly disappears at break of day. The bed feels wider than it should now, like it forgot our shape. And every habit that we shared escapes. I don't expect your name to echo in every passing sound, but Somehow silence feels like you all around. I told myself it's over, that I've adjusted fine, but some emotions don't erase with time. I'm still loving silence softly, where your presence used to be. A quiet kind of memory inside of me. And every note the saxophone carries feels like it still knows the love that never fully left, but slowly goes. I pass through days in steady motion, but nothing feels alive, like something in me didn't learn how to survive. The world keeps speaking in its rhythm, but I hear something else, like fragments of your voice that live by themselves. Even names I hear in passing sound a little like you did, but vanish just as quickly as they hid. I thought I'd stop remembering the way you used to stay, but silence has a habit of replay. I'm still loving silence softly, in places you once stood. A gentle kind of heartbreak that feels misunderstood. And every time the music rises, it brings me back to when I still believed forever back then. Maybe love doesn't vanish, it just changes form, from something warm beside you to a storm. Maybe I was never ready to let it fade to gray, so I keep loving silence every day. Now I don't try to fix it, I let it stay, because even broken feelings know the way. The night becomes a quiet witness to what I feel, a love that still feels present, but not real. Somewhere in the silence, you still remain, a soft and fading echo without name. I'm still loving silence softly, where you used to breathe, a memory that never learned to leave. Be loving silence and you. Still loving silence. stare at words I never sent you on a glowing empty screen, like fragments of a conversation that might have been. The night feels heavier than usual without your voice around. Even silence has a language I've just found. I wait for something that won't happen, still checking every sign, like hope becomes a habit over time. I told myself I'd stop this, that I'd finally move on, but waiting is a feeling that lingers on. There's no reply tonight, just echoes in the air, a quiet kind of emptiness that says you're not there. And every note the saxophone carries feels like it understands a love that slips away from empty hands. I scroll through old conversations, like searching for a spark, but every line just fades away back into dark. The world outside keeps talking loud, like nothing's out of place, but I'm still stuck inside the pause of your space. Your name still shows up in my thoughts without permission or sound, like something that I cannot turn around. I thought I learned to let it go, like letting go is clean, but some endings don't erase what they mean. There's no reply tonight, just silence on repeat, a lonely kind of rhythm without a beat. And every time the music rises, it pulls me back again to all the things I should have said back when. Maybe love is just unanswered messages in time, words that never find their place but still rhyme. And maybe I was never ready to accept the end, so I keep talking to the silence again. Now I don't wait the way I used to, but I still feel the call of something that was everything before the fall. The night keeps holding conversations I never really hear, like traces of a presence still near. And somewhere in the static quiet, you still exist in me, a reply that never came, but still I see.